How's it going, gamers? Welcome to the dojo. Today we're going to be taking a look at and unboxing the Nintendo World Championship NES Edition Deluxe Set. So if you don't know about this is like a ode to a lot of the classic early NES Nintendo games and taking a spin on something they used to do called the World Championships and essentially bringing these challenges and kind of speedrunning challenges and whatnot to the living room, a la the Switch. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is inside this deluxe set that just came out today. Alrighty, so today we have a package that I honestly forgot was coming in because I pre-ordered it. Don't typically pre-order things, but took the opportunity to do so. Very basic packaging, as you can see here, straight up in the box. This is actually from Best Buy. Here we have the Nintendo World Championship NES Edition Deluxe Set for the Nintendo Switch. It's a very cool box. I had not originally planned on, like this wasn't necessarily something that, I didn't play the original version. The original version predated me. At least I would believe so. I do have a big affinity for a lot of these classic titles and games, and add on to that in a element of speed running, and Nintendo really kind of leaning into that with this whole NES Championship Edition, or the World Championship Edition here. Nothing new. Nintendo's very known for like kind of highlighting a lot of their old classic games and repackaging them and then adding a little bit of a twist here. But in this case, this is 150 challenges from over 13 NES classics. So you have Metroid, you got your Zelda, you got your Mario, you got your Kirby. Okay, let's go ahead and open this up. Like I said, I don't typically nowadays do pre-orders, especially for like Nintendo. I guess in this case, I will say I did it because it was like the deluxe set, which I wanted to get. Seal is broken, so that's this isn't going to be, staying sealed. With the deluxe sets, like obviously they might be hard to get in the future and so on. Like if it's just the game itself, I think for things like this, like while there might be an initial rush, it's not something I feel like it's really going to sell out, especially with Nintendo first party type of titles. I know sometimes Nintendo likes to do the hype, especially with like that Mario pack they did a while back. So here we have it opened up. We have inside the couple packages. Here we have, let's pull out the game first and foremost. So the actual Switch game itself, World Championship NES Edition. Let's go ahead and pull out the front here. This is, I think, the art book, if I'm not mistaken. The replica cart. And then last but not least, I think that might just be the pin set. It looks like there's also, oh, cool, a nice little stand at the bottom. So I was like, it feels pretty weighted. So let me pull out, oh, very cool. A nice little acrylic stand here. So again, first and foremost, the game, nothing crazy here. It's your standard, Switch case cartridge, like I said. So looking forward to playing that. Setting that aside, that's probably the least exciting common thing. We have the acrylic stand, which I did not know was in there, so we'll set that aside for now. This, I imagine, is either the pin set or the art book. So let's go ahead and open this up. So for those of you who don't know, as I mentioned earlier, this is like a throwback to a event that Nintendo used to hold, I believe back in the 90s or was it potentially even the 80s, I guess, for, these classic games and kind of like essentially like, challenges and trials of challenges that they would have back in the day with like the Nintendo Entertainment System and have like actual competitions. So it was like a physical live competition, and here's the pin set. Very, very cool. Look at these. Look at that, especially in the light. That is sick. So cool little collector pins here. Definitely going to be keeping these. Really cool kind of memorabilia. So you got Donkey Kong here, Metroid, Mario, and Zelda. Super, super cool. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, keep that foam padding on. But yeah, essentially they just took all of that, digitized it, and, brought a lot of those classic games back via emulation and added a whole kind of like overlay on it to, you know, kind of challenge online and challenge yourself to see how fast you can complete sections and beat certain challenges. So that is the pin set. I imagine this is the art stuff. So let's go ahead and just, I think it's just kind of pulls out here. And then, yeah, oh, this is cool. So this is like a throwback to the original like art and boxes for the OG games here. This is pretty cool. Zelda, Metroid, Donkey Kong, Kid Icarus, Super Mario 2. Oh, they even have stuff on the back. I didn't realize. Ice Climbers, Balloon Fight. This is sick. The Lost Levels for Super Mario Brothers, and Kirby's Adventure with the artwork on the back. And if you want to see kind of the equivalent of the artwork on the back, these are really vibrant and cool. Again, I don't typically, or even as a collector nowadays, like in modern times, I haven't really gotten, I don't often, I should say, get like collector or deluxe editions, unless it's something I'm really looking forward to. But I felt like this is a cool piece of like just Nintendo history, and I'm glad I got it because like, there's some pretty cool stuff in here. So these little, not even like art book, but I guess artwork necessarily, that now I'm struggling to put back in its case. I don't want to damage it here, but yeah, really glad I got this little deluxe set. So let me set that aside. And then last but not least, an ode to the OG like NES kind of slip cases here, and cartridge protectors. And then you have the NES edition cart. Obviously this is not a real NES cart, though I think it would have been really cool. I wonder like what's the true cost for them to like do like an NES ROM and actually load like a real cartridge, even though it's not practical, right? Or you could argue maybe the people who are buying these, you know, still have their NES. But this is a gold NES edition cart, World Championship Nintendo, as a kind of ode to the you know, replica cart here. But if you see on the back, the logos are all like, you know, you got the Master Sword, the mushroom, the leaf. You got a bunch of little symbols from the Nintendo universe, so to speak. And then, what I did not know, which is very cool, this reminds me very like a la rose-colored gaming accessories. You have this kind of acrylic Nintendo stand, which you just take the cart, slide it over, just like an NES cart, and there you have it. And essentially it just sits flat like so. Overall, this is a really cool little deluxe pack, like I said, with the art book, the pin set here, and let me just get the artwork back out, and of course the game, right? Can't forget the game. You have some pretty cool stuff overall, I gotta say. All in all, a really nice little deluxe set for collectors and fans of the OG NES games. So I think at this point, the only reasonable thing to do is go ahead and pop this into the Nintendo Switch, and why don't we take a look at some of the levels and challenges here and see how coordinated I am or am not in some of these classic game challenges. This is one of those things that I feel like can appeal to a lot of, like, obviously, like, it plays on the nostalgia factor, and a lot of people who played this and grew up with the NES. It's obviously going to cater to a lot of that audience, but I think also, like, a lot of, like, the newer, you know, gamers who maybe didn't grow up on this stuff. It gives them a way to access and be able to kind of get to play some of these classic games, and or at least versions of it or challenges in a much more, you know, convenient modern form factor. Always remember to close your software first, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be like me. Okay, so here we have it. NES edition, one-player party mode. Very simple menu here. I believe party mode allows you to go either local, but you can also, or sorry, I think party mode is local, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, local multiplayer up to 8 players. So, shout out. Or you can go one player and you can play and compete against online. So, here it is. Between the late 80s and early 90s, the NES championships were held all across the world. An obstacle of visiting the venues in person may have made it difficult for many of you to see these spectacles firsthand, and some of you face an even greater obstacle, not even being born yet. I think at least Nintendo recognizes that's why we brought the championships to you. Now you can experience the thrill of competition against players from around the world. This is the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. This will appear alongside your nickname. You can use the coins from playing to unlock more. So they have like a whole like thing built in. Let's go with the Jumping Mario Classic. Choose a hype tag. Think of my own Call of Duty. Never had an NES. I like how they actually like lean into it a little bit. I will say, my skills are legendary. Like they recognize that it's appealing to both sides here. Never had an NES. Let's go. Alright, now have one, of course. Choose your favorite NES or Famicom game. Again, respect to both sides. Let's go with, I'm gonna go, I gotta recognize home. Oh, they're doing it in Japanese. Maybe my hiragana and kanji and katakana is not as good. Super, no, just kidding. Let's go NES games. We'll keep it in English here. Let's see. I am going back home and visiting Japan in a month or so. So looking forward to, hopefully, maybe I'll find the Japanese edition out there. I'm going to go with The Legend of Zelda, personally. All right, activate the online feature. This will let you compete with players online in the world and or survival mode. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. And here we are. I'm jumping into it. I'm actually, usually I play with a Pro Controller. I'm going with Joy-Cons here. We're going to start here because that's literally the only place you can start. You collect coins, you unlock challenges, you can become a speedrun master. It's funny, they really leaned into like this whole like speedrun community. Like it literally looks like you're watching a live stream while you're playing, and we'll showcase here. This first one here, the idea is to get the super mushroom. So it shows you a demo at which you can, is it literally just do the fastest to get that, and then you can fast forward. And you see your personal best or PB, and then your highest or the highest rank. So we're gonna go ahead and start here. Oh, whoa. Okay, I'm literally playing right now. So personal best replay. Oh, this is not the. Oh, I'm already not doing great. Oh my gosh. Oh, slow start. B++. Now and then now it's gonna play it on the side. So you can see it has this kind of whole overlay. Oh, I just realized you guys can't really see the overlay now that I just talked about that. I decided to move me over here because I think it's better in terms of you can actually see the timer. So you have a timer down there, and you can see you essentially have that timer anytime you're doing a challenge. It even shows you the button input, which is great. Again, like I mean, they really recognize the audience here. Okay, it did worse that time, but hey, we got our A+. Now, the idea is you progressively go through these different challenges, and you can unlock new stuff. So I can jump over to Zelda, for example, and see. Literally, again, this first one, it's taking bits and pieces, literally clips of the game, and making these challenges. So obviously the beginning ones are very simple. You gotta get the right lines here. It's dangerous to go alone. The classic opening here. Personal best, look at that, A++. I got the pin, I got the sword. Easy clap there. And you get the idea. You can move on, and it kind of goes to all these classic games. Which, funny enough, I have been playing some of these classics recently. And not, I don't want to say reliving some of the classics because I didn't live through some of these, but experiencing some of these classics for the first time, like Metroid. And yeah, you're getting exposed to kind of these early ones, then you get challenged to kind of do your personal best. I am interested to see, even in these like simple ones. Oh, because like right now, for example, I am doing terrible. I love like the speedrunning community, so I'm looking forward to seeing what people do to optimize and what the world's best and stuff like that is. I'm sure since this came out today, we're going to start seeing a lot of people get on these leaderboards. And then you can see here it opens up to a bunch of classic titles, whether it's the Adventure of Link, the multiple Super Mario Bros. Games out there, Ice Climbers, Balloon Fight, Excite Bike. We can go ahead and jump into other games here. Kirby's Adventure. So what's this one? It's the first one to inhale an enemy. So you get the idea. The beginning ones are super simple here, and it will get progressively more challenging. And you kind of do these initial ones to unlock the challenges. Or you can see in the top right, I have 121 coins. So for example, I can go ahead and unlock the next stage and the next stage here, and then I can play them. So this one is collect all the coins. Pretty standard one. Okay, optimize pathing, jump. A+. Got the pin. Can we beat that? I think can we get A++? Oh, no. Oh gosh. Oh, like 23 seconds. Now I'm dedicated. See, better pathing, better button. Oh, look at that. New best again. Not quite A++, but you get the idea. And then it just progressively gets more challenging from there. So again, these are not the O. No. So when you die, it just kind of resets you there. But that also factors in time. Got my pin still. So again, these aren't like the full games. These are micro versions of said game. And I think do I have to get the coin there? Or is it just to finish? Oh, it is really just to the finish. Okay. Getting like, you know, experiences of these titles. Progressing. For the sake of the video, I spent my coins just for you all. Let's go ahead and look at like the World 1-1. You got to grab the pole. So here it is getting progressively harder. It's literally just making you play through the entire level in this case. So this is what they consider a harder challenge, so to speak. Oh, nope. I want to blame the Joy-Con, but, you know, blame the controller. The classic gamer move. Okay, so, oh. Alright, no. So it doesn't reset you entirely. It looks like it sets you back a little bit. Oh, man. I'm not just used to playing with like a Joy-Con. Oh, terrible jumps. 32 seconds. Not the greatest. I have like the NES Classic controllers. The other thing right now is that, oh, wow. Oh my gosh. That just dogpile there. The other thing is, I believe if you're a Nintendo Switch Online, you can get like 20% discount on the classic controller. So they have like the NES controller, the Famicom controller, stuff like that you can get a discount on if you want to play with the kind of more classic style controllers, but modern versions of those. So I believe the local party mode is just essentially this, but you can play like quite literally just a bunch of these squares against your friends and see who, you know, is the best essentially in terms of the skills and the challenges. Oof. Okay, not great, but A+. I'll take it. Otherwise, I'll be sitting here for a minute. So that, gamers, is the Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. A quick look at it, an unboxing of the deluxe set, what you get physically, a little bit of what you get in the game. Obviously, I gotta sink a lot more time into this and go for the completion. Maybe we'll do a video where we go for a complete A+, 100% completion across the board. Who knows? Let me know. Is this something you're interested in? Something you'll be picking up? And if so, what is going to be your favorite challenges in the classic game of choice? Leave it down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing for more gaming content. And as always, gamers, thanks for watching.